What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of What Happens Here, Las Vegas's newest sports and entertainment program. I'm your host, Marcus Deegan, coming to you live from Sin City in Las Vegas during this quarantine. Thanks very much for joining us. Got a massive competition dropping at the end of this, guys. We're going to let you know what's going to happen. It's going to be a trip for two for you and one of your buddies to come to Las Vegas and hang out with me and have a great experience. Well, today we are keeping on the side of the mixed martial arts interviews, and I'm very, very excited about this one today. This has been one that I'm pumped for over the last couple of weeks. So let me tell you a little bit about this man. And if you don't know who he is, you haven't got a clue. This guy has been ranked the #1 mixed martial arts the coach in the world. In 50 years from now, when the greatest mixed martial artist to ever grace the octagon's name is mentioned, this guy's name will be associated with it. He's a former fighter from Ireland, 11 wins, 4 losses. He's a dad. He's a husband. He's the striking coach for the most notorious left hand in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What Happens Here, Mr. Coach Owen Roddy. What's the story, Coach?
I'll tell you what, that's an intro. That's an intro and a half, that. I'm good, Mark. How are you, man? How's things?
Buddy, it's good. It's great to see you. I'm just on lockdown here in Las Vegas like the rest of the world. Where are you? Are you in Ireland right now, obviously?
I am just sitting in my sitting room. I've just had to come in from the back garden to come in and have a chat with you. But it's a lovely day in Ireland. I think it's the hottest day of the year. So yeah, we're enjoying the bit of weather. I'll have 1 or 2 beers, maybe a bit of proper 12 later on, and I'm just going to take a handy for the day.
I didn't think that you were a whiskey drinker, Coach.
I've been sculling the whiskey for the past while, yeah. So what I've started to do is, I don't know whether it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, but you know, I usually drink bottles of beer, but the amount of calories that's in bottles of beer. So I said to myself, you know what I'll do? I'll just drink spirits. I'll drink whiskey, and I'll drink it with 0-calorie, sugar-free drinks. Now, I mean, I'm keeping the calories low, but I am drinking a lot of whiskey, and I tend to go a bit wild on the whiskey. So I'll keep the calories down, but I'll probably end up getting a charge sheet or two. Drinking the proper 12.
I reckon the proper 12 sales have shot up in this last few weeks during this quarantine. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on, Coach? What's going on? Like, obviously, you're locked down like everybody else. I've seen online that you're doing some online training courses. How are you keeping fit personally? Is it just with that, or are you working out at the gym?
So what happened was at the start. Now I haven't been in my gym in 2 months. You know what I mean? Well, I go up the odd day just to run the water and just check on a few things. But yeah, no, I haven't been using the gym at all. So what I've been doing at home, I started my own little workout. I have a kettlebell out the back and a skipping rope, and I just do a couple of exercises, and then I started to do the live sessions. So I have a program that I designed. It's MMA Fit. So it's, all the kind of the fundamental things you would learn in striking, in wrestling, in jiu-jitsu. I put them all together into this kind of solo workout. So I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks. I've been doing it every day because I've had classes on every day, and the classes are getting very popular. People are looking for new things to do and looking for new ways and fun ways to get fit. So I designed this program. So it's keeping me in shape, and I'm enjoying it. So that's what I've been at.
Now, do you think this is something that would work if we weren't in quarantine? For instance, if you were doing these classes just for people on the other side of the world that can't get to an SBG gym or don't have mixed martial arts gyms in their hometown, do you think this would be as popular?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely the situation we're in now. It's helping us, but I'm definitely going to keep them going.
Yeah.
And see how it goes. Like people message me all the time. I'd love to come to Ireland and train, and I'd love to come over to train with you and your guys in SBG Charlestown and stuff like that. So now they have that opportunity. I'm doing the MMA Fit. I'm gonna release it now probably tomorrow, which is just online coaching. So I'll watch some tape of people's fights and stuff like that. I'll help them, develop game plans. Wow. I'll help them design their fight camps. I'll do kind of one-on-one sessions with them and stuff like that. So that's coming next week as well, and we'll see. So I'm getting a lot of interest. I always get a lot of people messaging me, Coach, can you have a look at this video and see what you think of my strike? And then I'll send back some comments. But now I'm gonna do it for real,
I mean, that's truly an amazing idea. It's like get a virtual coach of one of the best
Yeah.
coaches in the game. What a great idea. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about Nuka MMA? Because I know that's really exciting. That launched just before all this went down, but I know it's going to
Mm.
explode over here. Can you tell everybody about that? Because I'm really, really excited for you about that.
Yeah, so Nuka MMA is the first ever amateur collegiate mixed martial arts organization. So I've been me and a couple of guys have been involved in this venture for the past 3 or 4 years. We had our first event in UCF in Florida. So we're bringing amateur MMA to the colleges all over the US. It's going to be huge. Our first event was unbelievable. We were set to go back to Florida at the end of April, but obviously due to the coronavirus, it knocked us back. But we're hoping to get back out there maybe in October or something like that, as soon as these restrictions are lifted. But yeah, so the way it's going to work is we're going to have a regional championships. So let's say we have 4 or 5 colleges in a region. They'll all compete against each other, and the regional champions then will go on into the national championships, which will be held at the end of the year. We're hoping to do it in Vegas in 2021. So we'll have a big, huge competition at the end of the year, and we'll crown the first ever national Nuka champion. The individual champion, so the person that has the most wins and the most points, and then obviously the college champions, so the college that has the most wins and most points. So yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be brilliant for the sport, to have have all, it's like in colleges in the US, and college sport is huge. It's nearly on par with the professional sports, So for us to bring mixed martial arts into that domain, and to have, college athletes competing, every 2 weeks, every month, competing very regularly, they're going to get very good very quickly. They're going to build huge followings because they'll have the college and their states behind them. And then hopefully what we'll do at the end of the year is the champions and stuff like that, and the top seeds, we'll do a draft, and we'll get Bellator, UFC, all the big shows together, and we'll do a draft, and we'll draft all the fighters off into those organizations.
Wow.
That's what's in my head. Whether it goes that way or not, I don't know, but that's the vision.
Wow. What a great idea. I mean, like it's like, as you said, college sport is so huge over here. A college football game will get 250,000 people, easy peasy. I think combining what you're doing right now and making it the same way as a football draft is just, I mean, where do you come up with these ideas, Coach? I mean, you've got this idea, you got the Gymshark, you've got the SBG Charlestown. Where do you have time to think of all this stuff?
I don't know. I've always been trying to think of ways, I don't know where I came from or something. I'm always thinking of ways to try and make money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking of ways that I can, make whatever I'm doing better. So whatever, if I'm in a sport, I'm always trying to think of ways that we can improve the sport. And mixed martial arts has been my life now for 18 years, and whether it's Nuka trying to give college students the opportunity to compete, or whether it's Shadow Fight Goods, the equipment brand that I run, innovating on new equipment and whatever it may be. I'm just trying to improve on what I see that's out there.
Do you think that mixed martial arts in Ireland, well, not only just in Ireland, but pretty much all around the world, do you think the UFC has become more popular and mixed martial arts has become more popular since Conor stepped into the game?
Oh man, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the UFC was popular, and they had their stars, Anderson Silva and Jones and all of this, but nobody came in and did what Conor did. Nobody came in and talked so well and backed it up and put people away with devastating strikes and in unbelievable fashion. Nobody did it like Conor, and nobody brought a whole country with him. You know what I mean? When Conor was on the climb, coming up through Cage Warriors and stuff like that, he always talked about Ireland, and he always talked about bringing his team with him and bringing his country with him. And then when he made his debut in Sweden, just the way he talked about, it's this is not for me, this is for the country, and we're all in this together. he got the whole country behind him, especially in the US with there being a lot of Irish Americans. He just flew up. But yeah, I think Conor has done, so much for the sport. I mean, people wouldn't be getting paid what they're getting paid. The sport wouldn't be as popular as it is. And so I think we're very fortunate to have had him compete as a mixed martial artist.
The Irish are very patriotic, as you say, and Conor said he was going to bring the whole country with him. I'm sure that his stats have shot up to become the president of Ireland. Do you think that you'd make a good vice president, coach?
I was actually asked this question there a while ago as well. You know what? I don't. If Conor turned around tomorrow and said, "I'm going to run for president," I wouldn't doubt him. I don't doubt him. I stopped doubting him. I stopped doubting him years ago. He kind of, from day one, Conor was like, "I'm going to be the best fighter in the world." And you look at him, you'd be like, "Jesus, this young fella's only training a couple of months. He doesn't do any. He has no jiu-jitsu. Yeah, he's no kickboxing. All. He'd always good hands." We're like, where is he getting this confidence from that he thinks he can be the best in the world? But then he just started doing things. Then he started winning, going on a tear and knocking people out. Then he started winning Cage Warriors belts. And then he started, he got to the UFC. So anything Conor says he's going to do, I back him 100%, and I truly believe that he can do it. So if he ran for presidency, that would be bleeding. That'd be great, man. It'd be unbelievable. And me being a vice president, I'd take that role on fairly handy as well.
So being Conor's mate, but also being part of his team and his camp, does it still surprise you when he does stuff like obviously knocks Cerrone out in 40 seconds and do all these extraordinary things? To this day, are you still like, fuck, I can't believe he just fucking did that? How did that catchphrase end up on 50 t-shirts? And how is there impersonators running around Vegas, fucking crazy impersonators and people mimicking him everywhere?
I don't know. I just don't know. I just think Conor has whatever Conor touches turns to gold, man. It's just, I don't know what it is. He just has that. He has that something that very, very few people have, and they come every 50, 100 years. These unique people, I just it's just been a whirlwind, and I don't know. It's not that I don't think he can do it. Like I honestly believe that, like let's say with the Cerrone fight, I was like, Conor's guy. I kind of knew that it was going to be quick, because we all had the feeling that Cerrone was going to come out and be a little bit friendly and start a little bit slow. I think he was a bit too pally at the start, and Conor was nice to him, so that was probably offset him a little bit.
Yeah.
But the difference is when Conor goes in there, he's an animal and he's ferocious. And we kind of knew that Conor was just going to go in and march through him and just dismantle him, and he did. But whether it's the Mayweather fight or whether it's winning the 2 belts and all, nothing surprises me anymore with Conor.
Well, that was a lot of questions that the fans wanted me to ask you. Was what was your favourite moment with Conor? But as you said, there's just so many of them; it's hard to pick one, right? But if there was one particular one that stands out more than anything for you, which one would that be?
Yeah, man, there's been so many of his fights. He's done so many special things, like and some of his performances have been unbelievable and stuff. So it's hard to pick one, because let's say the Aldo fight, for him to go in and just put Aldo away in that fashion. But there you go, exactly. For him to do it against somebody that was so dominant for so many years, and just to make it look so easy, I was like, you're not going to top this. You're not going to top this.
Yeah.
And then one that I really love is the second Diaz fight. From to go out and, he lost, and he stood up, he held his hands up, he took it like a champ, he admitted his loss, and he ran it back. And he didn't change anything. He done it the same way. He didn't move camp. He didn't do anything like that. He did it exactly the same. We all looked at some of the mistakes that we potentially made, and we corrected everything. And he went back in and done it and overcame it. And it was a grueling, tough fight. We knew we were going to be in there for 25 minutes, and there was moments in there where other people it easy use it to get out.
Yeah.
There's moments in that fight where Conor could have easily just went, look, he's had to hit me a couple of times and I'm hurt. There's no shame in going down and saying I got hurt. But Conor didn't do it. He pushed through. He showed so much heart. So that was a phenomenal performance just for what he came through. The Alvarez fight, Jesus, that is as close to picture perfect that you can get to a performance. You know,
a master class. Yep.
Yeah, so there is so many. I don't really have a favorite. Probably the Diaz fight, because I was just so proud of him to do what he done. And I remember after that fight, I was just over the moon. I just couldn't believe that he went in and just overcame it. You know what I mean? It was a huge. I felt so proud of him that night. You know, so but I've always felt proud of him in every fight. So.
Do you guys see Las Vegas as a second home? Because every time you come here, you always bring the whole country of Ireland with you. The arrest rate goes up about 55% over the weekend of a Conor fight, but also the alcohol content is consumed more than any other fight week. Do you love this place here? Do you really love Vegas?
Oh, I love Vegas, yeah. My wife loves it. The team loves getting out there, and it is like a second home. We've been there so many times, and Vegas is an amazing city. It's just one of those cities. I remember years ago. For my 30th birthday, my wife was asking me, "What would you love for your 30th birthday?" I says, I hadn't been to Vegas. I says, I'd love to go to Vegas to see a UFC, right? And I was like, wow, this is and I didn't get to do it. I was like, oh my God, it's like the fight capital of the world. I've watched so many fights, Tyson and stuff coming up, and then 3 months later, I was on a plane. I think it might have been 2 or 3 months later. I was on a plane going to Vegas to corner Conor. So I didn't go to watch the fight, but 2 or 3 months later, I was over there being part of Conor's Vegas fight capital debut. So we love Vegas. I love it, man. I think I'd love to get a little place over there as well, sometime down the line, if I can.
Well, Vegas loves you guys, man, and the economy always rises when you guys get here, and the real estate's super cheap over here, Coach. You can get a little 2-bedroom apartment for like 160, 170K over here, so it's pretty cheap.
I know, yeah, and the houses are amazing. Like in Ireland, man, the houses are very, very dear, but for 300 or 400 grand, you'd only get a 3-bedroom house, man, in Ireland, and it wouldn't be a huge one. For 300 or 400 grand in Vegas, you'd get a nice house with a little pool and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So, let's see if you can handle the heat over here, because we're just about to clock 105, brother.
Honest to God, well, maybe I'm not over there for too long, but I love the heat. Love the heat. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. I think I was born in the wrong country, man, because I'm, even when it's warm over here, I'm always freezing. Kids give out to me because I'm in the car and I have the heat whacked up and I have the windows up and they're like, Dad, I'm gonna faint, and I'm like, you'd be grand. I'd be in there freezing with a jumper on, So I don't know. I could get used to that Vegas heat, man.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, it's fight week this weekend. Unfortunately, it's not here in Vegas. It's going to be over in Florida. There, I've seen that you had your picks on the internet. A little bit of discouragement this morning when we found out that Jacare Souza and 3 of his teammates tested positive for the coronavirus.
I know, man. It's very sad, man. I was looking forward to seeing Jacare and Uriah Hall. I mean, that's that was a tricky fight for Uriah. Jacare's no joke, man. Jacare get a hold of you and take you down, and you're in deep water, But yeah, it's very unfortunate, The only thing is you just hope that he's all right, and because he's fit and strong and stuff like that, I'm sure he'll be fine. But you just don't want him passing it to, anyone that he knows that's elderly and like that,
So do you think that UFC bouts are scheduled as like a ladder? Like this bout's going to set up, so if this happens, then it's going to go to this. Then if this happens, it's going to go to that. Do you think that the main event result today will have any kind of future to where Conor's going? Do you think that Conor will fight the winner out of Gaethje and Ferguson, or do you think the winner out of that will go back and fight Khabib, and then Conor will come in? In the meantime, is Conor going to fight Masvidal? Is he going to do Nate 3? There's so many options, right?
There's so many options, and you know what, Conor, like the thing is, Habib is officially the champion and stuff, but Conor still holds all the cards, and everyone still wants to fight Conor. It's where the money is. It's where the prestige is. To fight Conor McGregor, like I remember Frankie Edgar saying it. Like, I'd love to fight Conor just to have that on my record that I
just
fought.
to tell your grandkids that I fought Conor McGregor. I remember that.
Yeah, because Conor is that person. He is the icon. He is the face of the game, you know. But I definitely think, this fight, Ferguson and Gaethje, you know, Conor could potentially jump in. I don't know what Khabib is doing. I don't know whether he's stuck in. I don't know if he's stuck in Russia or whether he can get out. I think he can get out, but you know, maybe Khabib doesn't want to do anything until this thing dies down. I'm sure Conor would be happy to jump in and fight the winner of this fight as soon as possible. I see Conor going through both of them fairly quick. I just think stylistically they're not a good matchup. Conor's not a good matchup for them. You know what I mean? If they're gonna try and stand with Conor, it'll be lights out fairly quick. You know, they're great fighters, and I think tonight's. Yeah. I think tonight's fight is going to be it's going to be a great fight, and I think it's, you know, it could be back and forth. But I just don't see them hanging with Conor.
So in other news, Mike Tyson's been offered $20 million to jump in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Association. Now, I just spoke to your man Artem the other day, and he was giving me some insights about how fucking tough this sport is. What do you think about that, Coach?
So I didn't know he was actually offered the money for bare knuckle boxing. I didn't know it was that. I thought it was for an exhibition, but Jesus, did you see the video of Tyson moving on the pads? Whew. You know, for a 50-odd-year-old man, he's still got it. And you know, you got to think about, you know, he's in shape now. He probably hasn't been in shape for a long time, so it's great to see. And who wouldn't love to see Tyson?
Well, yeah, can you imagine as fans? Can you imagine us as fans getting ready to watch the pay-per-view of like Mike Tyson fighting Shannon Briggs or whoever the fuck it's going to be? I don't care what it's going to be. I just want to see Mike get in there again.
Yeah, I heard rumors that Holyfield wants to come out as well again. So I mean, imagine them running that back. You know, the only thing is with Tyson, I think we were robbed. I think we were robbed of Tyson. Tyson's career a bit too early. Like, you know, obviously he made all the money and, you know, he got into trouble and whatnot, but, you know, I still think he had so much left, and I still think deep down he feels he just wants to get in and give it another go. And I tell you what, I'd pay to watch that. I would love to see him.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, he's not going to be as quick and as well. I don't know. We looked very quick in that video, but he's not going to be as good as he was when he was a young fighter. But he'll still have that ferociousness in him. He'll still have that knockout power, and if he was to do, you know, an exhibition 5 rounds, I think it'd be an exciting fight with whoever he had, whoever his opponent was. You know, I'd love to see it.
It's great all these guys wanted to come out of retirement and fight again, and then I also hear that your man Oscar De La Hoya is putting his hand up, wants to get a smack as well. What's the deal with that? Does he just want that red panty night, Coach, or is he just trying to get his name out there? De La Hoya would take it, no doubt. He wouldn't take the fight with Conor. Yeah. You know, I'd say he was just throwing it out there just to, you know, it's easy to get traction when you mention Conor's name. So all you got to do is say something about Conor, and it's going to get traction. But you know, De La Hoya was a phenomenal boxer as well in his day, and very, very good. You know, but. Yeah. You know, it's a different story fighting Conor as well, you know. But it would be an amazing fight. Conor already said, yeah, let's do it. I'd say De La Hoya would like to do it, but yeah, we'll see. It'd be an exciting one as well. Well, as you say, Conor's the A side. Whoever wants to fight him, it gets a name for him. You know, you mentioned that you're associated with Conor. Shit happens. You probably get a few pizzas along the road there, right there, don't you, Coach?
Oh, man, I do, man. There's a few freebies. Few name dropping, yeah. I work with Conor. Any freebies, yeah. I actually do get a few freebies. I'm not going to lie, man.
Well, hey, no, you know what? I even get a few freebies.
yeah. Fuck it, man. It's all good. It's all good.
So listen. Last question, Coach. What direction do you see Conor going now? And what do you think his next fight will be? Like, I mean, what would you like to see? And where do you think that's going to go? What's next for Conor, man?
Well, I mean, it's hard to know what's going to happen with this coronavirus. And when I know Conor he was adamant and he was eager and he was very motivated at the start of the year to get in and get 3 fights this year. And that's still achievable, you know what I mean? Especially if Dana, pulls through with this fight island thing and starts doing shows on this island and stuff. I know Conor already put out there that he would be happy to fight on it. The winner of this fight, Ferguson and Gaethje, I think would be a fantastic fight for Conor. I think it would be great. I think it would be a huge fight for the fans. I think they'd love to see Conor fight either of those guys. And then maybe Habib. But to be honest, I said at the start of the year, I'm just happy to see Conor back, enjoying his training, motivated, and I'd love to see him fight anyone, whoever. Conor makes a decision. He goes, right, I want to fight this guy, and then once he says that, then it's up for us and the coaches to look at the opponent and look for holes in their games, whether it's in the striking or.
Hang on a sec, as he froze it. Yep, there we go.
The grappling side of things, and then we come back with the game plan and we go through it as DSA, Habib, Gaethje, Ferguson, any of them. It would. I mean, the fans would like to see any of those fights. They would sell out. There'd be millions of pay-per-view boys. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's all down to the boss man himself, to Conor, for him to go. Who gets it, gets it.
Definitely the boss man, definitely the one that says yes. But, like everybody knows that, I mean, Conor's success probably wouldn't have been as good without the backup and the Team McGregor and the coaches and just the expertise that you guys have got. Coach, I've kind of been following you guys and been an unofficial part of Team McGregor for about 6 years. I've ran into you.
You've been around with us?
I've been around with you guys in different parts of the world, and we've run into each other. You've always been a class act and shown me respect, and I always reciprocate that. So I want to thank you very much for coming on today. It actually did mean a lot for me, Coach, to get to talk to you and Artem and all the boys, to make you guys know that this is the real Marcus. This is what I do. The other things is just the side thing for a bit of a crack. So really do appreciate you coming on here today, Coach.
Yeah, no, Jesus, Marcus, it's always good to catch up. And we've met many times over the years. And, we first met, I think it might have been at Mendes or Poirier, and you were dressed up and we chatted and all. But we've always talked, and we linked in Instagram and stuff like that. And then every event we've always caught up and we've always chatted. And you're a gent. The impersonation thing is great, and it looks the business, and it's always good buzz. It's always good to see you in character. But to see the real you and chat with the real you over the years has always been a real pleasure, man. You're a gent, and we wish you all the best. Team McGregor wishes you all the best, man.
Well, I look forward to chatting with you again, maybe in person one time. I'm going to get my media credentials, so you may see my head in the pit there at asking the questions in the post and pre-fights. Get ready for that one. That's phase 2 of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, man, what a big treat today. I want to say thank you very much to you, Coach, for coming on the show. Any words of wisdom before we bounce, brother?
No, just enjoy life, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Owen Roddy.
Yeah, pleasure, man. Talk to you in a bit, Marcus. Cheers.
Hey guys, Marcus here. Today's episode was proudly sponsored by Team Guilty Clothing, Conquered Apparel, Rise Fight Gear, Molcata Clothing Wear. How could we forget Fit Guru Fight Retreats in Las Vegas? Of course, Wildcats for all your cannabis needs. And of course, Baller Balm for when your beard needs to be money. Today's episode was fueled by Proper 12, the finest, the tastiest liquid gold on the planet.